So I'm having a chat with Josh of Modestep. How are you?
I'm not too bad, mate.
Good, great stuff. So we've been playing a new single of yours called "Hang My Heart." Tell us a bit
Yes.
about the single, first of all.
Hang My Heart is kind of an ode to a night out in London. Um, on our second album, London Road, we had a song called Night Bus Home, and this is kind of the prequel to that. So it's instead of your way home after a night out, this is kind of like your journey on the way to going out and kind of letting everything go the moment you walk in the club. I think it's quite a like typically British thing to do. Um, and yeah, something everyone who lives in London can probably associate with.
Yeah, for sure. And you mentioned your second record. Well, record number three is on its way on the 5th of September. Give Up the Ghost. What can we
Yes.
expect to hear on the record?
So give up the ghost. It's kind of a futuristic look at where we're going, kind of like in the industry and also just kind of as people. It's set in London and it's kind of a story about uh, the music industry, but also London and kind of where we're going to be going with technology and how things are changing so much and so quickly in the world. But it's also on a musical level, just me getting back in touch with my UK roots. I lived in America for 5 years and was heavily involved in kind of how things operated over there, and I missed it so much. I came back here for a couple of months and I just missed it so much. I had to come back and just being kind of surrounded by the new wave of drum and bass and UK music just got me inspired again to kind of, yeah, get writing.
Nice, yeah, nice. And how does this record sound in comparison to the last two records and the EPs as well?
Um, this is quite typically a Mode Step album, I think. Like we always try and blend different genres. There's elements of rock, metal, drum and bass. You know, these are all things that we've done in all of our records. So I tried to keep it kind of very a typical Mode Step record, but a lot more modernized and you know, metal has changed a lot in the last 10 years. Electronic music has changed a lot in the last 10 years. But I tried to keep like a classic vibe to all of it and not play into the current trends too much.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And the sound that you made with the record, is it the sound you wanted, or is it kind of how it turned out when you were putting it together?
It's exactly what I've been aiming towards, honestly. I took a really long time on the record. That some of the ideas on this started 4 or 5 years ago. But yeah, I think I threw away about 70 tunes on this to make the final one, and I really handpicked songs that I there were some that I threw away I knew would do really well on a dance floor or even radio, but I just knew that these sounded like this record, and yeah, wanted it all to kind of be a cohesive
Mm.
piece of art.
So those 70 tracks, what happens to those now? Do you consider them again down the line, or is it a case of bin them off, start again?
Yeah, I think once the album is out, everyone loves a record that a DJ can play or a dance floor DJ tool, and I got a ton of those. So yeah, once the album's out, we'll see how things go. Maybe we'll leak some of them out there.
Good to hear. Good to hear. You mentioned touring as well. You've got some shows coming up in November.
Yeah, we've got well, before then, September, a bit of the US, and then in November, we're doing a full live EU tour with the whole band, which I'm really excited to get back out and be on the road in a van with instruments and do it like we've done before. Um, yeah, and then after that, doing a bit of Asia and then America as well to towards the end of the year.
Nice, nice. Is there anywhere you've not been to yet that you want to get to at some point?
Yeah, there is. You know, I've never done South Africa. I'd love to get over there. And there are parts of South America I've never been to. I mean, there's like this meme online about come to Chile, come to Brazil, because all of our comments for the last 10 years has been come to Brazil, come to Brazil. Um, I'd love to go to these places. Unfortunately, there's not much of a market, but we're trying to make it happen at some point before before I'm getting too old.
You're not that old yet. You've got time. Don't worry. And I like to talk about the writing side of things as well. So for you, how do tracks normally start off?
It can be different depending on the track, really. Some tracks I just start writing with an instrument and I'll make like a beat and then I'll write to the beat. But a lot with this album was kind of just start with the fundamentals, an instrument and a vocal, and then produce around it. And I've actually found that that's, especially with songs like Hang My Heart, it actually made like a much better song. So yeah, with this one, it's kind of write a song, piano and vocal or guitar and vocal, then produce around it, and then get the band to replace some of the stuff so it gives it more of a live sound.
Yeah, nice, nice. And your band, as it were, when it started in about 2010, I think it was, has slowly dwindled away just to just you now as the kind of the main member. What's it like doing stuff now for you rather than as a group?
It's interesting because I've always been the one to make music. I've always been the one in the studio and the kind of at the forefront of actual writing and production side of things. So not a whole lot has changed there, really. Even back in the Sunlight days, that was me in the studio by myself. So in a sense, that hasn't changed. The only change is really just the touring aspect. A lot of the musicians, that's where their key role came in, was when we're playing live. So yeah, there's been many members come and go over the years. And now we've put together a new band. They're all wearing masks. They're all part of the live sound, and they're some of the best instrumentalists in the country by a long mile. So I'm so grateful to have these people who are on board, and they know that their role in this is to make the live show as incredible as it can possibly be. So not much has really changed in like the writing process, but the dynamics and me just having the creative freedom to not have to answer to anyone and not have to deal with band politics is yeah, it's been quite freeing to yeah, be able to get in the studio and just write what I want to write.
Yeah, I can well imagine. And speaking of being on tour, obviously you're taking the band with you. What's it going to be like in comparison to say 10 years ago when the bulk of the main band were still part of the band? What's it going to be like on stage now, especially from a fan's point of view?
From a fan's point of view, it's going to be pretty similar. I mean, like instead of a DJ, we used to have a DJ as part of the lineup. We've now got a bassist, so it's a lot more of a like classic band structure: drummer, bass, guitar, and lead vocalist. Um, Same energy. We've always, throughout the years, just tried to maintain the same energy and the same stage presence. So I think for a fan, it's going to be a very like typical Modestep experience, and someone who's experiencing it for the first time, I hope that it's exciting for them.
Yeah, sounds good. With all the touring that's coming up this year, what's 2026 going to hold for you? You going to try and get back in the studio? You're going to be doing more touring? What's the idea at the moment?
I hope that we can just tour the album for a little bit. Like I say, I've got loads of cutting room floor tracks sitting, waiting to come out. But I would like to. I feel like in this day and age, people don't give albums enough time to breathe and enough time for people to actually listen to it. So I do want to push the record into 2026. There's obviously we've run with like 3 or 4 singles before the record has dropped, but I feel like there's so many strong songs on the album that I want to actually like give some of these songs time of day, create visuals for them, and treat them almost like a single. And just yeah, like let people know that this album isn't just 3 singles and some filler. Like everything on there really means something to me. So we want to push it as much as possible into 2026 and hopefully hit parts of the world that haven't got to see our live show, do part 2 of the EU tour, take the live show over to America because really I'm only DJing over there at the moment. And yeah, hopefully festival season next year, we'll be able to bring the live show to that as well.
Sounds good to me. Josh, it's been a pleasure having a chat with you.
Thank you very much, mate.